Perfect. Okay. Great. All righty. So sharing screen. I have the PowerPoint, and as I told you, you can have it if you want to. Okay. I'm gonna do it bigger now. Okay, guys. So as I told you, this is just an introduction, okay? And I really hope you get like the most useful out of it, because remember, there is a master's degree on Enneagram, okay? So imagine like a lot of things to learn from it, but just the introduction, okay? So if you see that symbol over there, that is an Enneagram. In Spanish, we call it eneagrama, okay? So my first question is gonna be, have you guys listened about this? Had you heard about this before? If you say yes or no, you can
I've
type
never heard
chat.
about it.
Never heard about it.
No, I
Thank you.
don't.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, super, super. Okay, great. So it will be interesting because maybe you've heard a little bit about it. And I've heard people that say, no, I don't like the Enneagram. And I'm like, why not? No, because that is to label people. Okay, they say, no, that's just to label people. And no, it's not to label people. However, it helps us understand personalities. Okay, so you're gonna see. This, okay, as you can see here, there are like a lot of names that you can find online if you're searching for information. But these are like one of the, well, the common names that you will find. Okay, so what is the Enneagram? I always call it a map. Okay, it's like a map that is gonna guide you to understand 9 ways to see life. Okay, 9 ways to see reality, 9 ways to understand the world, because the way I see the world and the way you see the world is not the same. Okay, I might like rock music, and you might like I don't know, reggaeton or salsa, or you say, no, yeah, I think like you, I love rock too. So you know, people are very different, and the way you think something is real, something is your reality, might not be the same for other people. So when we are teachers or students, it's very important to understand this so we can get along well and be more empathetic and try to understand what's going on around us, okay, instead of being arguing, and try to become more tolerant. It's good to know. So if you see here, I'm going to explain the symbol and everything, but well, this number 1, Enneagram type 1, is called the perfectionist or reformer. Okay, that's how they used to call it when you read about it, or when you listen to someone speaking about it, or some documentary or something. Okay, number 2 is gonna be called the helper or the giver. Number 3, the achiever or performer. Number 4, the individualist or romantic. Number 5 is the investigator or observer. Number 6, the loyal skeptic. 7, the enthusiast or epicure. 8 would be the leader, protector, or challenger. And 9, the peacemaker or mediator. Okay, only with these names you can have an idea, okay, of what's going on with these people. However, there's like a lot about it. Okay, so I'm going to be explaining some details. Well, as you can see, the figure, you look at the figure and it looks like a star, or it's like, what is that? Okay, and I don't understand why everything is like connected to lines, but I'm going to tell you what it is about. Okay, again, here you have the names. Okay, and as I told you, there are 9 types. Okay, all right. When we talk about the Enneagram, we are going to listen a lot to these 3 terms. Okay, the first one is types. In Spanish, well, in English, we call that Enneagram type 1, Enneagram type 2, Enneagram type 3. But in Spanish, we call it Eneatipo 1, Eneatipo 2, Eneatipo. Okay, that's how you call the types of personalities. The arrows in Spanish, the same, las flechas, and the wings, las alas. Okay, that's the same thing. Okay, and what is that? Okay, listen. As you can see, I'm going to take number 1 as an example. Number 1 is usually called a perfectionist. So this type of personality, as you can see, is connected to this arrow and this arrow. Arrow to 7, the enthusiast, and arrow to the individualist, that is called the romantic, that is number 4. Okay. It also has 2 numbers next to it. Okay. The number to the right and the number to the left of all the numbers are what we call the alas. Okay, the wings, because are the ones that are next to the number. Okay, so as you can see, a person that is called a perfectionist, that is a number 1, also has characteristics, features from 7 and features from 4. And it also has something from 9 or something from 2. So it's, if you see it like this, people are like, oh, I get it now, because it's impossible to think that there are billions and millions of people in this world, in this planet, and that we only have 9 types. It's impossible. That's what a lot of people say. However, let me tell you that it is possible. It is possible, but you have to consider all this, okay? A person can be one with a lot of influence from 7, or a person can be one with a lot of tendency to go to 4 when it's depressed, for example. Or it might be a 1 with a wing to 9, or a 1 with a wing to 2. So we call it like that in Spanish, uno a la 9, uno a la 2. Okay, so in that case, you're gonna see that if you start multiplying and say like, now I see that it's not only 9, it's like 54, okay? So that makes more sense. But the main type is the number that I'm gonna be describing, okay? Any questions so far? I would like to know if you have any questions.
Everything's clear.
Super, thank you for the comment. Great. Lovely participation. Okay, awesome. It's so weird, you know, to be talking to a machine all the time. It's crazy it is. Okay, but when you reply, it's like, I have people, nice, on the other side. All righty, so let's continue. I'm not going to make a mess out of these 3 things, because you see that and you're like, what? I'm not going to be talking about this because this will be for another workshop, okay? So the only thing that I would like you to see is the first one, okay? This first bubble, let's say, this Enneagram that you have here is going to be explaining a lot of things. What is this? In the Enneagram, we talk about triads, in Spanish, triadas, okay? So we're gonna be understanding that people are in 3 triads, okay? For example, people who are number 8, type 9 or type 1 are in the body triad that is called the instinctual triad, okay? So this is going to be giving you also information about things that we do. Ennea type 2, 3, and 4 are going to be about the heart or feeling triad, okay? So in this case, you know, these people care more about emotions, about other people's feelings, about their own heart and feelings, okay? And if you are in this head thinking triad, 5, 6, and 7, then it means that you are thinking a lot all the time, that you sometimes have a hard time to make decisions, or sometimes it's like, I want to do this in the future, but what happens if it's not like this? Okay, so people think all the time, okay? So of course, we're going to have everything. We are going to have our instincts that are going to move us, and we're going to do things based on that. Of course, we have feelings, and of course we think. I mean, we have all of them. However, we have a tendency like to go to one of the triads because we belong to one of them, okay? So we're going to see this. During the whole lecture, I would like you to think about these 4 questions, okay? The first one, are any of the numbers not me? Okay, because what happens? I'm going to start describing all of the 9 types, okay? And I'm going to give you examples of how teachers and the students react, okay, in different circumstances. So I would like you to think, for example, if I describe number 1, you're going to be like, no, me, number 1. I don't have any feature of number 1. Next, okay? Because at the end, out of the 9 types, I would like you to stay with 2, okay? Or with 3. Or maybe with 1, maybe you feel very identified and you say, no, that this is me. No. Like I had a teacher here in Spain when I was learning this that said, like, when I discovered the Enneagram, I said, tío, que hay una cámara escondida aquí en mi habitación, right? Because it's like, they describe everything. It's like, oh, Jesus, this is me? No. Or this is my mother. Or this is my teacher from the university, okay? So we're gonna be paying attention to this question, okay? Then, are any of these me when I'm having a hard time, okay? When you feel depressed, when you feel, like we say in Costa Rica, ahuevados, okay? Or here in Spain, de mala leche, okay? That's how they say it here. So it's like, no, I don't feel very well. I'm a little pissed off. This is me when I'm like this, okay? Or the other way around. When I'm super happy, when my life is awesome and beautiful, this is me, okay? So because in the Enneagram, when we talk about this, we talk about shadows and also about light. It's like luces y sombras, right? So we have good things, but we also have things that are not very nice, right? So think about it. And the last question would be, does it remind me of some particular students, if you're teachers? Or does it remind me of a teacher? Does it remind me of a colleague? Maybe this sounds a lot like my best friend. Okay, so think about this, because maybe it doesn't sound like you, but it sounds like someone you know. All right. Any question about the questions? No.
Everything's fine.
No.
Super. Great, thank you. Okay, let's go on. I'm going to start with number 2. Now, not with number 1, because remember that we are going to be talking about triads first, okay? So I'm going to start with the hard triad, that is 2, 3, 4. And remember, it's the feeling triad, okay? So a type 2 is usually called the giver or the helper. If you see number 2 here, it's connected to number 8 and it's connected to number 4. What does it mean? That a person with personality type 2 has also features from 8 and has also features from 4. All right. I'm going to describe number 2. As Cynthia said at the beginning, I'm going to be talking about the fears and the core fear of a number 2 purely themselves. What is that? For example, a student 2 is going to be the one that says, oh, I want my teacher to be happy with me. I want my partners to accept me. I want to feel that I belong to this group. I want to be part of this. I want to connect to my partners. I want to connect to people. I want to study English to connect to people from all over the world and to talk and to have friends so people can love me. Okay, that's their desire. Okay, or teachers, if teachers are 2s, are going to be like, oh, I'm going to do the best so my students love me. So when they have the evaluations at the end of the course, it's like, yeah, excellent teacher, beautiful classes, el profesor amor. So number 2 is going to be super happy to listen to that. Okay, that's what they fear, is that the opposite, to not be loved. Imagine. So it's like, if you say like, no, I don't like the teacher, I don't like the students, I don't want to be friends with this person, you kill the number 2. Because what they really love or what they really desire is to be wanted for being themselves. Got it? So that's the core fear and the core desire of a number 2. What happens to this? I'm going to give you examples. A number 2 is the typical person that comes with gifts for you, the person that remembers your birthdays all the time, someone that is always trying to connect to you, the one that is like, if you are in groups, remember when we had the classes presenciales, right? Long time. Okay, so it was like, would you like to work with us? It's the person that is inviting people, the one that sometimes organizes some meetings or some clubs for speaking, because it's someone that likes to connect to people. All right. So when someone is a number 2 and is learning another language, like English in this case, they are learning the language because of that, because they want connection with others, because they want to feel loved, accepted, and wanted. Okay. So sometimes they come and say, hi, I got this for you. And you're like, thank you. Okay. They love when you say thank you. When you don't say thank you, it's like, I gave this. And when they get very upset, okay, when they are not balanced, they are like, I'm always doing things for you and you never say thank you. It's like, oh my God, okay, what's going on, right? But most of the time, this person is like this, trying to help you, trying to connect. Examples of famous people, for instance, I always have this picture here, but I take these 2 as examples, Mother Teresa and Shakira. Okay, what happened to them and why are they 2s? According to what I said, imagine Mother Teresa helping sick people no matter what, okay, giving her life for others, to connect to others so that she could help them and they could love her back, okay, and they could be feeling well near her. And so help, giving, okay, that's what the 2s do. And then Shakira also, right? If you see her, sometimes number 2s are the students that sit in front of the class And the ones that look at the teacher like this, because they want to be like, teacher, do you need help with your tape recorder? Teacher, do you need help? It's like this, like with a smile, okay, connecting, trying to, when they go, for example, to a new class, it's like they look at everybody and see who, I mean, connection, remember that word, okay? So Shakira, she has these, I don't know, there are foundations or something like that for charity to help children, like homeless children in Colombia and in other countries, right? And as she sings and she's so sexy and she's like this, right? To try to have people love her, okay? That's what a number 2 does, all righty? So some other examples just to finish with number 2 and ask you some questions about this. If a number 2 had to play a bingo, that number 2 would win right now. Because, for instance, this phrase, just let me do that for you, that is in a number 2's vocabulary, okay? Helping people move, taking care of the dishes, having people over for dinner, cooking, cleaning, saying yes. If you want to ask a favor and you have a friend that is a number 2, you know that you go, you ask for a favor, and that person is going to say yes. It's in just a few cases when this person would say no to you, okay? But is the typical student that is going to help the teacher, or is the teacher that is going to be there for the student, even if they are not working, okay? Even if they're not in class, they're always planning classes, activities for the students. If a student, I don't know, sends an email, that teacher is replying immediately, is like there for the student because it's what they care the most, okay? That's a number 2. Any questions? I need you to please tell me if you feel identified, if it sounds like you, if it sounds like a teacher you know, if you sounds like someone you know. Tell me something, please. Okay, there's something
I
here.
have Ariana.
Yes.
Just raise your hand.
Okay, well, in my case, I think that sounds like me. I always clean my house. I always try to help people. But at the same time, I think that it's so complicated because sometimes I'm not too like social. I don't like too much socialize with the people because I'm really shy. But yeah, I think that it sounds maybe like me.
Very good. Okay, Ariana, and for that, well, I have here in the chat that says Hazel says sometimes. Okay, thanks, Hazel, for the comment. In that case, Ariana, that will have an explanation, and it's something that I'm not going to explain in detail today because it would be impossible, okay? But in the Enneagram, we have something that we call subtypes, okay? And the subtypes are gonna be talking about 3 types of 2s. There are 3 types of 1s, 3 types of 2s, 3 types of 3s. What happens? That those types are called preserving, social, and sexual transmission. So in Spanish, we call conservación, navegador social, y sexual transmisor. So it depends on that. The 3 2s are going to be completely different. In the mid, I mean, in the bottom, let's say, like deep down, what they really want is to be loved and to help, right? But if the person is preserving, it's going to be more like this, like shy and not so social, right? So that would be you. If you feel identified with this, you will have to investigate if you want to for the Enneagram type 2, preserving 2. Okay, that's how you call it in English. In Spanish, sería el 2 conservación. Okay, so that is going to be giving you a lot of information on how you guys react, and some tips of what you can do when you have a problem. So that's going to explain everything. Okay, the social 2 would be the one planning parties and trying to connect all the time and be surrounded by people. Okay, and the number 3, the transmitter, the one that is the sexual transmission, is going to be more like trying to connect, to be more sexy. Like if you're like that, it's like more seductive. Okay, so that will be changing everything. Thank you. Okay, someone else.
Yeah, I saw Alejandro had his hand raised, but I don't know. Alejandro, who?
Yeah, right. I was to say almost the same that Ariana, because I feel like type 2, well, kinda, just a little bit, because I love to pay attention to the people that are my friends, for example. And for example, when someone has a birthday or something like that, I like to write a super text message saying that I feel grateful for his friendship or something like that. And I like to tell the people that I love them. Well, when I when I feel grateful with someone, and but I'm not the person that is going to make groups, for example, in classes, because I'm too shy to, like Ariana, you know. And but when I feel comfortable with someone, I you know
You do it.
but I already said, yeah.
Excellent. Oh, that's great, Alejandro. So yeah, the same. Okay, will be interesting to take a look at that, to the preserving too, as she mentioned, also as Ariana said. Okay, so interesting. But remember that this is the first one. So let's go on, because maybe then you change your mind and it's like, no. Now I'm not number 2, I'm number 9. Okay. By the way, let me tell you, number 2, number 9, and number 7 are the ones that are considered the most positive from the 3. Okay, so sometimes that is also giving you information. Number 3, 1, and 5 are like the most competent. Okay, and the ones that react more, like emotionally reactive, are 4, 6, and 8. I'm going to give you that later, but it's also information that is useful. Okay, let's go on with number 3. Okay, number 3, let's see what happens. Okay, here, number 3 connected to 9, connected to 6. Okay, it's also from the feeling triad. Okay, so remember, we're talking about emotions, and it's called the successful achiever. You're gonna see why. Okay, what does this person fear? Okay, it's like being worthless, be considered a failure, feeling that they are not successful, feeling that they are not efficient. That's what they really, really, really fear. It's like, no way, please, no, I'm gonna do everything, but I'm not gonna feel like that. Okay, so what they want, of course, is the opposite, to feel valuable, for being themselves. Sometimes they tend to pretend too much for having the other person's, let's say, how can I say this? Well, to feel value. Okay, like if they, for example, say, I have gone to this and this and this country, I have done this and that. Okay, sometimes in Costa Rica, for example, we say, okay, mamá rajón, es que solo habla de dónde ha ido, qué ha hecho, right? But it's not like that. It's the person maybe is talking about this because he or she wants to have the other person's, let's say, admiration. Okay, that would be the word. That's what they're looking for.
Recognition, would it be?
Recognition, exactly. Thank you for the word, because I just totally lost it. Thank you, Cynthia. Recognition, admiration. They want to feel worthy all the time. And because of that, that's what they call the achievers. Okay, sometimes you see that you see the medal here in the middle, because they want to be winners. They are super competitive, okay? They have a lot of potential. They are very inspirational for other people, okay? Like sometimes they are like role models or leaders, okay? It's very easy for them. They don't feel ashamed to go in front of the class, for example. If they have a presentation, they're gonna say, like, I'm gonna do the best presentation because I wanna have the 100. I wanna have the best grade here. And you see that they really work hard. They're very hardworking people, okay? However, they might become workaholics because of that, okay? So there's this line that is so thin, okay? That if they are not balanced, if they don't know themselves, they can tend to change being hard worker or being a workaholic, okay? So you gotta be careful with that. Sometimes they are like the popular people in the class, okay? They're very ambitious, very energetic, as it says here. As I told you, very competitive, and they are very focused on their image. For them, their image is super important. So if they, again, go in front of the class to have a presentation, they care a lot about the image. Or those are sometimes the teachers that go so neat to teach, okay? And you say like, la profe, qué guapa todo el tiempo, right? So it's like they care a lot about their image, okay? They are very successful. Whatever they do, if they have an objective, if they have something they want to reach, they work super hard to get it, okay? And they do it at the end. It's amazing, okay? So yeah, super. have said this like 3 times because it's one of the most common features for these people. All right. So for teachers, if you guys wanna, I mean, or you identify that you have a lot of 3s in your class, maybe you can include more games like for competition, like group A, group B are gonna play against each other. So when the 3s are gonna be moving the whole group to win. Okay, that's what they really want. Okay, and they love applause. They love applause. Okay, so recognition. And one of their favorite words, what they are waiting for the teachers to say when they get feedback, is wow, wow. Okay, that's one of their favorite words. Okay, so and for the students, for the teachers. Okay, because this works for all of them. All righty, examples. Believe it or not, people who are working now on films like Pixar and all these studios, they study the Enneagram, guys, because it's so amazing. When we study this and we study type 3, Buzz Lightyear is what we call un 3 de libro. Okay, it's amazing because it's like, my God, it has all the features of a 3. How can this be possible? Because they study the Enneagram to create a character. Okay, believe it or not. So it's like the toy that has the highest technology and I don't know what. Okay, so it's like it's a 3. So the same happens to people. The same happens to people. Okay, remember, it's not because they are rajones. No. It's because they want to feel valued. Okay. And I have an example here. Remember that I'm in Spain, and sometimes I I use this girl as a reference because for me it's un pedazo de 3, like they say here. Okay, that is Leticia. Leticia was a journalist, and now is the queen. Imagine what kind of 3 could do this. It's like, yeah, I have an objective, but no, I'm good being a journalist and a famous journalist, but no, I want to be the queen. I go for the best. I want to be the best. Okay. So imagine, I think these 2 examples are going to be in your head forever. All righty. Then if a 3 had to play tic-tac-toe, it would be very good for them. Okay, because here they will start with the corners, right? When we play that, the professional goal setter, my God, explain how you do that. Okay, because they have a goal and they go for it, right? They're very good also at giving advice to other people. When they give advice, they are always trying to be efficient. So it's good when you ask these people for some recommendation. All righty. Okay, 3s here. Is there any 3? Could you identify a 3? Tell me something, please.
I don't identify as a 3, but when you start saying like the characteristics and yeah, I imagine one of my friends that it's exactly everything you're saying. So it's really funny because I think like from the second characteristic you mentioned, I was like, yeah, this is my friend.
Awesome, great. You see, so as you could identify your friend, you could identify a teacher or a student. Okay, so in that way, you know how to treat people. Okay, Dennis, you have a question?
Well, I do have a question, but also I know a person who's like that. So as soon as you started giving the characteristics, it was like, that person is definitely this. My question is, because there's always like something that these people, well, but every one of us, because we belong to one of those, but what is it that we can do? Maybe you're going to explain this later, but what is it that we can do so we don't let anyone down?
Oof, Jesus. Okay, well, for that, you have to try to know that, I mean, this is going to take time. For example, are you a teacher? Because of the question, Dennis, are you a teacher? Yes, exactly. Okay, you are going to see that, for example, if you have time at the beginning, maybe the first day of classes, and have, sometimes we tend to have this diagnosis and all this at the beginning of a course, right? Perhaps you can include some questions or have some kind of chat or some conversation with questions that are specific from each type. Okay, so in that way, you're going to listen to their opinions. You're going to see, like, you can do examples like this. Okay, and then you see, there's a tendency in my group for competitive people. Maybe I have a lot of 3s here. So you're not knowing that, you know that when you're going to give feedback, you know what to say. Okay, then you know what kind of activities you can bring. Then you know also, because that would be another topic, right? But you can also explore the wound, okay, la herida, the wound that is in this person, so that you can understand their behavior. This is, I mean, it's because the Enneagram is, it's a world. I mean, there's so much that you could do, but my recommendation would be this: like, have some kind of questions that are specific for each of the types. You can find them online, or you can text me later and I can send you something that I have. So you can have an activity at the beginning and try to identify, because sometimes you see like, wow, I have a lot of people here. They're like, they tend to have this art, they're like very artistic or original. Oh, Enneagram type, that would be Enneagram type 4. That is the one that I'm going to explain. So once you see all of them, you can identify what you have more in class, so that you can include a little bit. Maybe not, because you know it's super hard, okay, to have like the same amount of activities for every type, but try to include things that you know that are going to help them, and especially with your feedback, because what you tell them, okay, is what they are going to remember. Okay, I mean, you can have activities in class and that, but if you talk to the person face to face, showing that you care, showing that you know what they feel inside, and that's why they react that way, they're going to connect to you, and that will be wonderful. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's go on with number 4. Number 4, connected to 2. So remember number 2, the helper, the giver, and it's also connected to number 1. Okay, it's called the individualist. The fear, guys, what happens? The major fear, the core fear of a number 4 is to feel plain. Okay, they don't want to be ordinary. No way. They want to be original. They want to be special. Okay, and that's the desire, of course, to find that their life has a unique significance. I want to show you examples, so it's going to be very clear with the examples. They, guys, look for what's missing. These are the types of students that even if you say, wow, well done, excellent pronunciation, very nice presentation, they reply, yes, teacher, but I wanted to do something different. Yes, but I still have problems with pronunciation. Yes, but they are focused on what's missing, and they're going to tell you that. Okay, it's like they want to do things, but they're still feeling that they are not enough. So they have this tendency to drama that is amazing if they are not balanced. Okay, when they are balanced, when they are on top, when they feel well, they're not going to act like this. But if they have these stages in their lives in which they explore their emotions so deep, sometimes these are the students that were like emos. Okay, have you seen that, the emos? Okay, and they listen to this kind of music. These are the ones times. Okay, they are super unique, super original. They have this they're so keen on art, and super interested in art. Amazing. Okay, or not being part of the rest. For example, a number 4 doesn't like the influencers now. Because if you see influencers now, I don't know in Costa Rica right now, because I told you that I came from Costa Rica 4 years ago, but I think it's the same. Here in Spain is amazing. Like people go to eat where influencers post. It's like, there's this new restaurant. They go to that restaurant. I bought this jacket, I don't know, at Zara. And everybody goes to Zara and is wearing the same jacket. Okay, so influencers do this so the rest can repeat what they do. A number 4 would never, ever follow an influencer. They want to be completely original and different. Okay, so these are the students that look, I mean, if you ask them to have a presentation, you're going to see that it's completely original. They are very creative. Okay, and they have this that I love, that is a way in which they see the world. They see this kind of beauty where nobody else sees that. For example, I have a friend that is a 4, and I had a student that was a 4 too, and it's like, hi, professor, have you seen the rainbow today? They are looking like this on the window. Have you seen the rainbow today? And like, yes, very nice. Okay, they see things, they see beauty where nobody else sees beauty. It's amazing. They write poems. Sometimes they play instruments. They write like stories, like you're like, wow, okay, super creative. These are examples. Okay, as I said, remember that for example, if you have a, I don't know, you have the rules, okay? Or yeah, let's say you have some rules for a project, okay? Students that are 4 will say like, Professor, can I change these or can I do it in a different way? Okay, you have to allow them do that. If you think that they are going to have the objective accomplished, why not? Okay, they need to let their creativity flow. Okay, Michael Jackson is a very good example of that. Imagine how original, how creative he was. He was completely different from the rest. Okay, he wanted to be white. Okay, a lot of artists, Dali, for example, Amy Winehouse was a 4 also, super deep. If you listen to her songs, the lyrics, very, very deep, okay? Well, who else here? Well, there are many. Kurt Cobain was also, Morrison too, Deb, okay? Very original people. So you see that they have this tendency to be out of the normal, okay? And, well, this is what I was telling you, like, hey, did you see that beautiful tree? Okay, so classes, if you're teachers and you are forced, perhaps you want to do things different from the rest, okay, of the teachers, or but having this aim, let's say, to do something out of the normal, but because you want everybody to be unique, okay, and sometimes they feel like they are the black sheep of the family, okay, because they are different. So different is the word that I have said here like 100 times for you to remember the 4. Okay, so Jesus, questions about 4. This is the last one from the feeling try it. I don't know if you feel identified or if you recognize someone that is a 4.
Yes, I feel totally identified with number 4 because I like spending most of my time like reading or drawing, playing the guitar or listening to music. So when you spoke about it, I feel like actually it felt like you were like talking to me because I feel like 100% related to that.
Excellent, Julian. Thanks for your comment. I love it, and I'm so glad that you feel identified. Yeah, that's great. Super. Thanks for your comment. Okay, guys. Somebody else? Otherwise, I will. Yes. Who said me?
Me. I think that I feel identified too with 4. Not completely identified, but a lot.
Nice, Virginia. If you didn't feel like completely identified, perhaps it's because you need to explore also what's going on with your arrows. Okay, so maybe you have something also from number 2 or from number 1, and it's completely fine. Okay, so great. Thanks for your comment. All righty. Somebody else?
Yes, me.
Howie. Okay.
I wrote Howie in there. Howard. Yeah, I think I have. You mentioned something like the people with this sort of feeling, they look for something or they see something that other people cannot. I guess I am that person. Sometimes I just tell my friends, did you look like the way he speak is bad? And they say, no, I don't. I don't. I just agree to you. No, he looks like a bad person or arrogant or something. No, I know. How couldn't you listen to that? And I was like, did you see the bird? It was black. No, I didn't see the bird. I just like details and stuff. I guess I'm like that.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, that explains a lot because number 4 has an arrow to number 1, and number 1 is the perfectionist, the one that is looking at every single detail. So let's see, maybe you are a 1 and an arrow to 4, or a 4 with an arrow to 1. We're gonna see number 1 at the end.
Yeah, but I am very social, so it's like a combination.
Excellent, super. Thank you so much for your comment. Okay, nice. All right, guys, let's go on. I have something here. I said the chat is like blinking. Okay. Jim Morrison said Julian. Okay, and Mari said somehow like me. Mari R. Okay, good. Thank you. All righty. Number 4 was done. Number 5 is next. Okay, so we continue now with the head or thinking, try it. Okay, now these people are not so moved by feelings and what other people might think about them, but they're more moved by their heads. Okay, so we're gonna see what happens to these people. It's very interesting. I'm gonna start with number 5 because number 5 is the one that tends more to have information, knowledge, investigation. That's why they're called like this, the investigative thinker, okay? What's the core fear? Okay, a student or a teacher that is a number 5 doesn't want to feel dependent, doesn't want to feel inefficient, doesn't want to be ignorant at all, okay? So sometimes if you feel, or something else is that they don't want to feel invaded at all, okay? They need their own space. They are always like quiet, analyzing, understanding what's going on around them. So for instance, a student that is a number 5 is the one that doesn't like to work a lot in groups, like teamwork, like work in projects in groups. They prefer to work alone. They are the ones that, for instance, you tell them to read a book, or you ask them to read a book, and they go and if the book is a sequel, like Harry Potter, that has a lot of books, they go and they read all the books, they watch all the movies, and they investigate more. I had a friend who was a 5, and when Lord of the Rings was, it was on, I don't remember what year, 2000, I think. Well, it was everywhere. Okay, Lord of the Rings in the movies, Lord of the Rings in some bookstores, you find a lot of books about that. So I remember I had a friend and I had a student also who were reading the same book. And it was like Silmarillion or something like that. And I said, like, what's that? It's like, is the book before the sequel of Lord of the Rings. I'm like, Jesus Christ, okay, what are you talking about? Okay, so they are the ones that like to investigate. If they're passionate, they're like, okay, I love this, I want to know everything. Okay, they tend a lot to work with technology. The gadgets are very very interesting for them. I was looking for another word in my head, but I lost it. But the thing is that yes, they need to understand the world around them, okay? And if you're teachers and you're 5s and some students come and say, Professor, how do you say, I don't know, whatever, and you don't know in that moment because we're not working dictionaries, remember, okay? Sometimes we don't know things and it's okay. And if you say, well, I'm gonna look it up and tell you later, okay? Inside, if you are a 5, you are like, yeah, I didn't know this, how come, I need to know that, and start feeling super frustrated, okay? Because a number 5 wants to be capable and competent all the time. That's what they want the most, their freedom and their autonomy also, okay? So 5 is called, as I told you, the investigator. Do I understand? This is like the question in their head all the time. Do I understand? Okay, or they are the ones that come, the students that come and say, Professor, did you know that? And you are like, no, I didn't know. Okay, so they come and tell you things, and you're like, wow, these people know a lot. Amazing. Sometimes they know more than we do. Okay, and it's fine because they are like super fans, okay, of a topic. So as I told you, they learn everything about it. Okay, so projects for these people, for instance, if you know that they have this type of personality, okay, go and have them explore. Okay, have them work with the things that they like. Okay, in that way, it's gonna cause emotion, so they won't forget about the topic. At the end, that's what we want when we teach a language, right? So, well, they're always pursuing knowledge, investigation, information, and they need to know that they are safe in their minds, okay? They need to feel independent. They don't like to be surrounded by a lot of people all the time. They need their own space, okay? That's number 5. Examples. Here you have these examples that are very interesting. I don't know if you guys watch The Big Bang Theory. I don't, okay? But when I was studying the Enneagram, I had to investigate a little bit about this character, Sheldon, I think is his name. And it's an exaggeration of a 5, okay? Because sometimes 5s don't have filter and they tell you things, okay? And in Costa Rica, we would say like, que mamá es concho, como me dijo eso, yo no le echo nada. But they're very honest. They just say what they think. Okay, sometimes they would need more filters, okay? But that's a 5. Okay, sometimes they're very, very quiet because they are analyzing everything in their heads, remember, okay? I have something on the chat. I felt you describe. Leo, thank you for your comment, Leo. Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's amazing that you're 5. Okay. One of my best friends is a 5. Actually, 2 of my best friends are 5s, and I love them. And it's amazing how you guys picture the world. It's amazing. You well, number 5s are very, very intelligent, and when they get into something they love, they can become genius on that. For example, Messi. Okay, amazing. It's amazing. Sometimes he's very quiet. I've heard a lot of people that say that he has Asperger. I have heard a lot of things. I don't know. What I know, what I can tell you, because we have studied that here in the masters and all that, is that he's a 5. Okay, that's why he's there. He's analyzing everything in his head before doing something, before playing. Okay, before scoring a goal. He's like super, super smart. Okay, so these are examples of 5s. And the bingo or the tic-tac-toe, or the bingo in this case. Yeah, as I said, those are the students that come in and say, did you know that? Okay, they love documentaries. One of the most common questions is why? Okay, because they need to understand what's going on. Sometimes I remember I had a colleague when I was working at UNA in Heredia. And I remember I had a colleague that said like, oh, es que tengo este chiquillo, qué bárbaro, ¿cómo sabe? A veces me pregunta unas cosas, yo creo que me lo hace porque le caigo mal. No, he was a 5, that's it, okay? And he is like this. He wants to know things. He wants to communicate knowledge to you, all right? And sometimes they are called the spoiler alert because of what I just said, that sometimes they forget about being careful not to talk more, okay, of what they should. And seriously, being alone, you see, it's written everywhere, being alone. They need their own space. So if you actually, this doesn't have to be with students or teachers, but if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or you like someone and this person is a 5, don't be expecting messages every hour. This person is like lost in the world. Okay, so sometimes you have to send a message or communicate and say, hey, I would like you to send me a message at least every 2 days, please. Okay, because if you don't text me, I think you don't love me, you don't like me. Okay, but it's because they live in their world, and that's it. Okay, so comments and questions about 5. Only books for presents. Yeah. Thank you, Melissa. Excellent. That's a very good, a very good example of 5. Yes, they love books. Those are the ones that sometimes, if you go to the mall, you go to the movie theater. Before that, you go to Librería Internacional and check for new books, and 5s. Okay. Totally. Good, Melissa. All right, super. Thanks for your comment. Okay, someone else?
Well, in my case, I love being by myself. I don't know why, but I find them very comfortable. Spend time with me only.
Julian? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you said that you feel identified with 4, remember?
Yeah, but I think, well, I love being by myself. So I don't know, maybe I have traits of number 5 too, maybe.
You know, that is what I want. That's exactly what I want today. That you feel like, oh, I have this, but I also have this. And even if you were a number 4, it would make a lot of sense, because number 4 has a wing to 5. Remember I said that at the beginning, 4 a la 5 or 5 a la 4. So it can be, okay, it can be one of those. So it makes a lot of sense. All right. But let's wait for the arrows, because I have to describe number 8 and number 7 that also have connection to 5. So let's see what happens, okay?
Yeah, I think that I am this student that, do you know that? Because I love just looking for information that I like. For example, I love animals in general. So I'm just looking for information about animals. And one time a friend at the Universidad Nacional told me, hey, this animal is really weird. And I'm like, no, it is not weird. It is not common, because the population is really almost it doesn't exist, for example. It was recently discovered. It's like a half giraffe, half zebra. It's like unique, not weird.
Very good. Very good explanation. You see how people tend to judge. So this is why I love the Enneagram, and why I would love everybody to know about this tool, because at the end it makes us understand, as I said before, 9 ways to see the world. So in that case, it's very easy for us to judge and to criticize and to point at other people that think differently, you know. But it's like, let's understand, let's try to be more empathetic or sympathetic as well, and go and try to see how this person looks at the world. Okay, in that way you become more tolerant.
Yeah, in a
Nice.
class, and in my in the practicum that I already finished, one time I told my students, remember that when you are pointing someone else, you have 3 things pointing back to you.
Like this, right?
Yes.
So that's amazing. Yeah, excellent example, and we never forget about it. Yes, thank you, Howie. I say Howie because that's what I read here in the with your name there. Okay.
It's okay.
All righty, thanks. Let's continue. Number 6 now is super interesting. I love number 6 because my mother is a 6, and I have a lot of friends that are 6s, and also because of other. Let me see what's going on here. Now. Okay, for other reasons that I will share later. Okay, there's something here on the chat. I'm a 6. Melissa, you're a 6. You know that. Okay, you're totally sure. Nice, very good. Okay, we're gonna see this. Number 6, again, is another from this triad that we call the head thinking triad. All right. So what's going on with 6? It's called the loyal or the skeptic also. Okay, something's happening to my computer. Okay, now. Okay, look at the fear. As you can see, the list is a little bit bigger than the rest. Why? Because they have fear of fear itself. I remember once I said this, and there was this student that told me, what? But it's impossible. How can we have fear, the fear of fear itself? Yes. Okay, you are very aware if you're a 6. Okay, you are always taking care of yourself and taking care of people around you, the people you love. So you are like, you have this alert. Okay, like being in danger is what you are avoiding all the time. You fear this, having a chaos, or you imagine the worst scenario in your head all the time of things that are going to happen. Okay, so because of that, you prevent and you prepare yourself more than you should. For example, for an oral presentation, it's like, I'm going to prepare this, and I'm going to have in the USB, and I'm going to send my presentation also by email, just in case something happened. Okay, so it's like a lot of things. Okay, because you already imagined in your head that something bad was going to happen, or that could happen. Or if you're a teacher, it's like, I had to teach a class. The class is 1 hour and 40 minutes, and the topic is this. Okay, I have 3 activities. No, I'm going to take 6 activities just in case, because I would never ever have my students there doing nothing if I finished early. No. It's better to have more activities. Or maybe they can ask me this, so I'm going to prepare myself because my students can ask me this, and I need to know this. Okay, so they're always preparing for the worst, or maybe not in that sense, but it's because they want to feel security. Okay, they want to feel confidence. They want to feel supported. That's what they want. Their desire is to feel secured, security, guidance, and support. Okay. They want to feel safe. That's what they want the most. Okay, they want to trust people. They want to trust the world. They want to feel that they can be happy, not surrounded by danger or dangerous things. Okay, that's what they want. So a type 6, I love this figure because you see the question mark. Sometimes for them it's pretty hard to make decisions. I have a friend. She's a teacher in Costa Rica, and she wanted to study a master's degree online. And I remember that she was calling me and telling me, ay, Verita, encontré un máster en España. ¿Usted los puede ver? Es que tengo 3 opciones. I'm like, yes, but which one do you like more? Well, this one. And so I'm like, so do you really need my opinion? Yeah, but it's because you live there. So I'm like, yeah, but I don't know the places. Okay. So it's like they need like this approval, or they need like to have someone else's opinion, because it's pretty hard sometimes to make decisions. Or if they go to eat, my mother is a 6, and we go to eat and we have the menu, and it's like the last person to decide what's gonna eat, because there are so many options and it is so hard to make a decision. It's like, I want the hamburger, but I also want the tacos, but I also want the paella. but okay. So it's like that. Making decisions sometimes is pretty hard. They want to feel secure, remember, okay? They are the students that sometimes ask you things because they want to know that you know, okay? Sometimes they're like, professor, what's the no sé qué, okay? And they're like, okay, I want to know if I can trust the teacher. I want to know if the teacher knows, okay? So sometimes they do it because they need to trust. Sometimes they suffer from anxiety, okay? So teachers, if you're sixes and you are beginning to teach, at the beginning you might feel a little bit nervous every time that you're going to teach a class because you want to feel self-confident and you want to project that, but deep inside you are preparing for the worst scenario. So there is this fight, okay, inside you sometimes. And what else? They're very cautious, okay? And as it says here, they worry a lot. They worry more than they should. My mother, for example, when I came to Spain, she was telling me all the time, like, ¿cómo se va a ir sola para España? ¡Qué miedo! ¿No le da miedo? ¿Dónde va a vivir? And I was like, Jesus Christ, okay, relax. Now that I know about the Enneagram, I could treat her differently, right? Because I used to fight a lot with my mom, to argue a lot, but I didn't know that she was a 6. Okay, so when you know this, now you can know how to treat people and be more patient with them. Okay, examples. Remember that Buzz Lightyear was a 3. Well, Woody is a 6. Okay, like preventing danger and be careful and let's do this. So it's what I told you. Or Milhouse is also a good example of a 6. Or these other actors and are 6s too in real life. Okay. This question here: do you think I should? It's a very common question in a 6. Okay, they're pretty loyal. If you have a student or teacher that is a 6, you know that you can talk to this person and this person is going to keep your secret. So yeah, you can totally trust these people because they are super loyal. However, as I said, they're very skeptical and they don't trust you the first day they meet you. No, they ask you things. They want to know if they feel safe with you. Okay, that's a number 6. I have something here in the chat. It says, Cynthia, the link to the form. Okay, thank you. Let's see, questions or comments?
Yeah, what is this part that says worst case scenarios? Like they imagine like the worst about things?
Yes, exactly. They imagine the worst that could happen. Yes, exactly.
Okay. I guess I have that, but depending on the situation, I am expecting something. I expect the worst. So if the worst comes, I say, oh, I said, okay, it's what I was expecting.
You were already prepared.
Yeah, if it gets better, I would be like, yeah, great. I didn't expect that, but
yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Actually,
I have a friend
in the quizzes, I remember I said, okay, a pretty bad grade. And then it turned into a pretty good grade. And I was like, okay, I didn't expect that, but great.
Very good. Thank you, Howie. And then Natalia here says, I feel identified. I need a plan for everything. Exactly, Natalia. That's what they do. Sometimes also something that is interesting, peculiar from 6s is that they close their house. For example, they lock and then they start walking. And it's like, did I turn off the stuff? Did I unplug the iron? It's like sometimes they go like 3 times to see if they did things, but it's because of that. They are thinking that there's going to be a fire. So it's like the worst scenario all the time. Okay. So they are always preventing that. And another question that is very common in a 6 is what if? What if I do this? What if I go there? What if something happens? What if they broke with me? What if? El y si in Spanish. Okay. Super common in a 6. All right. Somebody else says something here. My mom is 6 sometimes, says Christina. Thank you, Christina. And Jessica, I'm a 6. You see, 6s see themselves very quickly. When they're studying the Enneagram, they feel identified. However, sometimes when you see yourself like a 6, like a 3, like a 9, like you are not so sure, most of the time is because you are a 6, because of that problem, well, not a problem, that thing of making decisions, okay? So sometimes it's because of that, but not all the time, okay? Can I identify with 2 and also with 6? Yes, it can. It can. Actually, one of my coaches now, it's a 6, and she was thinking that she was a 2 because she's always helping dogs, like adopting dogs. She was having this tendency to help a lot, right? But most of the time wasn't because she wanted to help the dogs. It's because she was thinking that something bad could happen to the dogs. Okay, it's like we will have to explore this and see your examples, okay? But yeah, it could be. And also because there is something in the Enneagram that we call los grupos ornevianos, that is also for certain reactions that we have, number 1, number 2, and number 6 are in that triad. So yes, it's totally normal that you feel identified with 2 or 6. And that's my case too, says Daniela. Thank you guys for your comments. All righty. Okay, let's continue with number 7, that is the last in the head triad. And then we will go with the last triad. I don't know what time it is. Okay, we're fine. All right. Let's
7 here.
Perfect. Thank you, dear. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go with the last 4. Type 7 is called the enthusiast, okay? Connected to 5. Remember that 5 needs their own space, investigation, okay? And it's also connected to 1 that we haven't studied it yet, but we're gonna see it later. Okay, core fear. 7s don't want to feel incomplete. They don't want to feel inferior. They don't want to feel limited. And they hate feeling bored. No way. No. You kill a 7 if you ask him or her to have a routine that is the same all the time, that things have to be done the same way, to go to the same places, to talk to the same people. No, okay? They need variety. They need to plan things. They're always thinking a lot about the future, about what's coming next. And sometimes when they're doing something, okay, maybe they are in the class. And those are the students that if they see a fly, they go with the fly, okay? It's like they can get very easily bored. It's like sometimes you see them they finish something fast because they're very quick, and they start with the cell phone. And you're like, hey, no cell phones. Because they get bored very easily, okay? They're very active. They have a huge imagination, and they like to do different things. They love to have fun. They love to laugh. They're sometimes very hyper, okay? They're moving all around. They're the students that stand up like 3 times to go to the bathroom and come back, okay? Those are 7s most of the time, okay? The ones that tell jokes, the ones that try to find something good out of the bad thing, super optimistic, okay? And what they desire, of course, is that to be happy all the time, to feel content and satisfied, okay? This is a 7. Joy and freedom, okay? Spontaneous, positive. They don't like to suffer. 7s hate crying, okay? They, for example, are watching the news, and if they start watching a news that talk about dead people because of the COVID or something like that, they change the channel because they can stand watching something that is sad, that is gonna make them cry, okay? If you go to, if you have a lot of 7s in your group, take things that are gonna make them have fun, okay? That are gonna make them laugh. They need to be stimulated, okay? They need to feel that they are having different experiences in all the classes. A lot of variety. Don't have the same activities all the time because these people are not gonna learn, okay? They need to have variety, all right? These are some examples, okay? This actor, forgot his name, Jesus Christ. Can you help me? His name?
Adam
Adam
Sandler.
Sandler.
Thank you. You see, Adam Sandler and Cameron Diaz most of the time have movies that are comedies because for them it's super easy and it's very natural because in real life they're 7s, okay? So they're having fun all the time. They're super hyper like this. And well, as I said also about the imagination, Walt Disney was 7, okay? Amazing imagination, super creative. And The Little Mermaid, okay? She had this beautiful life under the sea, okay? But she wanted to explore the world, to have legs, okay? To go somewhere else. That's what a 7 does. It's thinking about what's next, what's next, what's next all the time. Okay. And yeah, that's a 7. Okay. Bingo. This phrase, I love it because it's like, I'm really into right now. I'm really into playing an instrument right now. I'm really into, I don't know, I can't think of anything. Cooking right now. Okay. It's like they are changing things and they have like different profiles. Okay. They're like, they have different groups of friends also. They can wait for things. They're very impatient, super impatient. It's like, oh Jesus, now a lot of 7s are suffering because of the COVID, because being so much time at home, not socializing, not having parties, not, oh Jesus Christ, it's like it's a nightmare for a 7. Okay. However, 7s have to look for things that entertain themselves, even if it's online, even if it's at home, but they are going to be doing different things all the time. Okay. 7s are very nice people. Okay, let me see. Same, Alejandro. I agree with you, says Monica.
Alejandro
Okay,
says, yeah, Alejandro says, is it okay if I feel that I have a little piece of every type?
Yes, of course. When we were studying the master's degree, there was a subject that was called Todos Somos Todo. Okay, and I remember that because it was a very nice module that we studied. And yes, of course, we have a little bit of everybody, okay, I mean, all of the Enneagram types. However, remember there are 3 that are going to be with you all your life. The one that is your dominant type, okay, and the arrows that you have, okay, those are going to be with you forever. Okay, so yes. Now, let's continue with the next. Okay, so this is the last triad. Okay, and it's called the body or instinctual triad. Remember that are 8, 9, and 1. Okay, number 8 is called the challenger. Well, core fear. They don't want to be weak at all. They don't want to show that they are vulnerable. They don't want to feel humiliated. They hate being controlled. They want to control people. They want to control things. They want to control the environment, but they hate being controlled. Okay, nobody can control them. They don't like that. Okay, and they don't want to be. I mean, something that they hate is like being manipulated and injustice. Okay, they can set injustice even if it's not directly to them. For example, maybe it's like they're watching the news again and it's like, Jesus, I can't stand this. How come? Okay, it's that they hate injustice. And students that are 8s, sometimes you think that they are mad or that they are very serious, but they're inside, they're super good, sweet people. However, they want to show like leaders. They want to show strong. They want to show everything but being vulnerable. Okay, sometimes, I don't know if you teachers hear these comments from students and it's like, es que la profe me da miedo. Right? And it's because perhaps it's an 8, okay, because 8s are like super serious. They are not like the 7s that all the time. No, it's like okay, but they want to protect their students, and in the end, I mean, like in the bottom of their hearts, okay, what they really want is to protect their students and to protect themselves. That's the desire, protection. Okay, this is the question that is in their heads most of the time. Am I in control? I have believe it or not, guys, here in this apartment where I live with 5 other people. We are 6. Okay. And one of them, it's so interesting because now I can see which is the Enneagram type of everybody. And it's like, one of them, it's a nurse. And you know how nurses are working right now, right? And it's amazing. It's like she has this heart to protect the patients. Like they are like warriors now with the pandemic, okay? So she's a nurse, imagine. She's a nurse, she's an 8, and she's a preserving 8. Remember, 8 conservación. And what preserving people do most of the time is, for example, right now, if you go to the kitchen, you're gonna see that she doesn't have an avocado. No, she has 6 avocados. okay? Because she needs to have everything under control, okay? It's like, sometimes it's like, chicas, se ha acabado el papel higiénico. It's like, they are controlling things like everything, okay? It's amazing, but it's because they look for protection. So teachers who do this is because of that, or students also. These are the students that protect other partners from bullying. They hate bullying. 8s hate bullying. They have to go and fight and say like, hey, don't say that. It's like protectors, all right? They're very strong, and they have this, when you see them, as I said, sometimes they look serious, but they look very strong, very decisive, very confident of themselves, self-confident, okay? Examples of 8s, okay? You have Trump. I know Trump is not the best example. Now nobody wants to be an 8 because of this. I have a question that says, how can we treat people 8? Yes, hold on a second, okay? I'll tell you, just give me a minute to finish, okay? I'm not gonna forget about your question, Michelle. So Trump, for example, you see the leader. And these characters also, Katniss from Hunger Games, or from Game of Thrones, we have Arya, Madonna is an 8. So you see, it's like, they have this, you see them, they enter a room and it's like, wow, okay? You notice 8s very easily. What happens if you know that they are like this, that sometimes they are like acting sometimes rude or sometimes so serious? How can we treat them? Okay, you need to understand, again, what I told you, that we don't have time, but the wound from childhood. Everybody has a wound, okay? So you need to understand, for example, that number 8, at some point in their life, they suffer humiliation, or they suffer from something, okay, that made them have this, let's say, like this, I forgot, the shield, okay? They have like a shield for protection. So that's how they develop. So if you know that, okay, you know that they don't do it because they're not, because they're bad people. No, it's totally the opposite. They do it because they want to protect others and to protect themselves, because they don't want to be hurt anymore. Okay, that's that's how you see that. You're gonna treat these people, and you're going differently, and you're gonna tell them also like, well, we can do this, but I would like also to do this my way. Okay, so negotiate, but not in the way that you are showed that you want to control them. No, it's because you want to show what you really need. Show your needs. That's the thing. Show what you need. Remember, they want to protect you. So if you tell them their needs, they're going to try to protect you and accomplish what you tell them. Does our experience in our childhood influence our type? Yes, completely. Yes, Maddie. Somebody's talking. Melanie, I think.
And somebody has the mic on.
Is it Melanie?
But I don't know if she realized.
I think that we can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will ask Johnny.
No? Okay. All righty. So let's continue. Let's continue.
I think that the host can mute the person.
Yes, host.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can mute it.
Yes. How can I do this? Now I don't find her.
Just go to the picture, let's say.
It says
There's like an option that says
The 3 dots in her camera. You can just unmute her.
Oh yes, you guys have. You see, we're always learning things. Thank you.
Great.
All right, 9 and 1. Okay. This I already think I gave you a lot of examples, so we're gonna skip this one. Okay, number 9, peaceful mediator. Okay, number 9 doesn't want conflict in his or her life. Okay, doesn't want to be separate from the rest, doesn't want to feel alone, doesn't want to feel loveless. Okay, what they really want is to have peace of mind. Okay, inner stability. They want peace, and no conflict. Okay, actually there is this picture here on top. You see like a man in a bubble. Okay, this is what number 9 do. It's like I don't know how they do it, but it's like they get into a bubble where everything around is conflict. Okay, they hate conflict. They don't want to argue. So sometimes students that are number 9 are the ones that let everyone speak, but they don't speak. Okay, at the end they are like, I prefer if other people speak, but I won't speak. Okay, sometimes they feel like they're invisible, you know. So I can't, I don't know, somebody's speaking or hear a noise, guys. Guys, can you turn off the microphone, please? Thank you. Okay, so well, a good plan for a 9 is Netflix and chill. Okay, as I told you, they want to go with the flow, be quiet, peace, relax. Okay, so a 9, if it's a student is a 9, he or she needs to have a relaxing environment for learning English. These people can go like super fast, okay, or have a lot of activities like 7, for example. They can have a few activities, but relax, enjoy in harmony. Harmony is one of their favorite words. Okay. Examples of 9s are these. Okay. Oh, the opposite of Trump, right? Obama. Cinderella is a good example of a 9 because remember, I don't know if you've watched the story or the movie. She was like there doing everything that the stepmother and the stepsisters asked her to do and silent. Okay, so this is what number 9, type 9 does sometimes, you know, like he's like there quiet in peace. Okay, but you have them, you need to tell them that they need to react, to wake up, to act, to go for action. And this is what we call goal number 3. Okay, 9, 6, and 3 are connected. So in Spanish, also actually when we do coaching in Spanish, we say like, tienes que irte al 3, tienes que irte al 3. Believe more in yourself, action, go ahead. Okay, and don't stay like that, thinking that you're not important, because you are very important 9s. Okay. Extreme example would be the Dalai Lama. Okay. They love taking naps. They are everything but selfish. They are not selfish at all. Okay, they love helping people too. So sometimes they say that number 2s are called the helpers, but number 9s sometimes help more than 2s. Okay, and sometimes they tend to procrastination. It's like, I'll do it later. It's like, guys, remember deadline. You have to present your projects or your homework on June the 22nd, whatever. So they do it on June the 21st. It's like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Okay, they tend to procrastinate a lot.
That's me.
Who said that?
Howard, Howie.
You see? Oh my God. Okay. And then the last one, guys.
I didn't hear that, okay? I didn't hear how we.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still working on the project, don't worry.
All righty. The reformer is number 1, the reformer or perfectionist. And this is the last one from the body triad, okay? What happens? It's called the perfectionist and it's called the reformer because they want everything to be the way they think it should be, okay? So they want to follow rules. They want to have everything organized. Sometimes they have the talks, okay? Because another of my roommates is a 1. And she's like, the dishes have to go this way in the dishwasher, this like this like that. And I always give the same example in every lecture that I do. And I remember that I was cooking when I came to the flat. I was cooking a soup. And here the zucchini is called calabacín. I was cooking a soup, and Maria, that is my roommate, she's a 1. She said like, ¿qué haces? And I'm like, una crema de zucchini. Pero la crema de calabacín no se hace así. I'm like, ¿cómo se hace? La crema de calabacín de toda la vida se hace ta 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 ta. And then she told me how to do it. And I'm like, it's this way. Thank you, Maria. Okay. And then I cooked it and I ate. I was like, Maria, the best soup ever. Thank you so much. So she was super happy. That's what the ones want. They want to reform things. They want to say what they think it's the way, or to get there, like the good way. They want to be good. They want to be fair. they love to do things with their hands sometimes, okay? They're very hardworking, and they're very good people. They're very good people. Okay, my father is a one, and I remember when I was living in Costa Rica with them, he was like, que es que si el gobierno hiciera esto, que es que si los huecos se arreglaran, que es que si hicieran esto, si lo hicieran, sí, papi, si lo hicieran como usted cree que hay que hacerlo, es que es así. And I'm like, okay, because number ones love to be right. Okay, if you tell them, oh, you are right, they're gonna be super happy. Okay, so something about this, I don't know why I said it. I put this slide here. Well, anyway, they are, remember, they fear to be bad, to be evil, to be wrong. Okay, what they want is to be good, the good boy, the good girl, ethical and virtuous. Okay, examples. Lisa Simpson is an example of a one. Monica from Friends is a very good example of one. Okay, so everything organized. Okay, ethical, and that's the one. Gandhi was one, and Captain America defending things. Okay, it's a one also.
Yeah, Pablo Iglesias, I guess, all right.
Yes. Okay, ones. They following rules all the time. Having, for example, students that are ones are the ones that are always taking notes, super well organized. Okay. If you're teachers and you are perfectionists, the same, everything is super organized, all your copies, everything. Something that doesn't help number one when you're learning English is that you are focused on the mistakes all the time. Careful, guys, if you are teachers or if you're students, there's no perfect English. There's no perfect English. You can do it, you can do your best and everything, but of course we're going to have mistakes. We have in our own language, right? So we suffer a lot when you want to have everything perfect. Okay, I am a 7, I confess. Okay, my Enneagram type is 7, and I have an arrow to 1. And when I was a student, I wanted to do everything so perfect, and I know now is that I was a lot in 1. No, relax. Okay, number ones need to relax. Okay, because sometimes they become very workaholic because they want to do it perfect, and they spend a lot of hours putting colors, having everything perfect. No, relax more. Okay, and if you're teachers, of course you have to tell students it's not people is, it's people are. Okay, but say it in a good way, like, you know, again, the mistake, remember what, like, try to be a little bit, not to say like, again, people are, or with red, people are, okay, not that way, because it's very easy for a teacher that is a 1 to focus on the mistake. Okay, they ones focus on mistakes all the time. They can help it. Okay, but if they notice that they are doing it, they can control themselves. Okay, that's what we called emotion management, like gestión emocional. Okay, they can know like, oh, oops, I'm again focusing on mistakes. Relax, relax, relax. Go to 7, have fun. Okay, that's how we play with the Enneagram. Okay, it's like, go have fun, relax more. Okay, and don't be so perfectionist because it's impossible, right? So they do this. They organize for fun. It's interesting. Okay, and as I said, they have the daily planners. Justice is super important for them. Okay, they are very, very fair, very, very fair people, and they're always asking this question in their heads: am I a bad person? They don't want to be bad. That's why they do everything perfectly, because they want to be good. Okay, and they want to be recognized for that. So if you see that a student is having like a lot of trouble, like trying to do everything perfect, it's like, relax more. Okay, do your best, but don't do this to you. Okay, guys, and that's it. Okay, so I don't know if you have questions. Let's have this space now for questions if you still have some, and then I will give you my accounts and my information in case you want something. Okay, so let's see.
Amazing,
yes.
Vera, great timing.
Good. What time is it?
Yeah, I have a question.
7:30.
Perfect.
All right, Howie, go ahead.
Yeah, the question is there a concept for a person with almost all the characteristics of the way?
I mean, there's, yes, I know what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
If you're thinking that, maybe you have to explore number 6. Okay, just a comment.
Okay.
No, of course we're gonna have a little bit of every type, okay, something. But for example, from number 5, you say, well, yes, I like to investigate, but it's not my passion. It's not my main motivation. What is your main motivation? That is a question that you need to have. All right. And there's no one, I mean, in this world that is going to have no Enneagram type. I mean, we have a dominant Enneagram type always. And that's what you have to explore. Once you find it, you're going to see what happens with your arrows and with your wings. Okay. So then you can know, I'm going to go back to the figure that I had at the beginning. Oh, this one. This is where you know, for instance, if you think that you're 6, okay, because you find a lot of features from 6 that you have, then you have to see in which stage you are. If you are having a tendency to 9, to procrastinate, or to be doing yoga all the time in meditation, is because you are a lot in your 9. Or maybe, no, you're working too hard to get your objectives, okay, you are in your 3. So these are like, this is what you're going to be doing all the time, okay? Going to 9, going to 3, staying in 6, 9, 3, and go to your wing 7 or your wing 5. Okay, these are the things that you're going to tend to do in your whole life, okay? So when somebody's having a hard time, for example, number 9, I have a coachee now that she's a 9, and she's saying, oh, Vera, okay, again, I'm looking for a job again, okay? I can't find a job. I think the problem is me. Okay, it's like, go to your 3, okay, and believe more in yourself, and notice how hard you've worked and you've been working, okay? Don't think that you are the problem and get in a drama like this, okay? So everything is according to what you're living, okay? There are a lot of recommendations that books give you, and also it would be very interesting to explore your subtype, okay, what we call the preserving sexual or social, because that way you would understand yourself better. Sometimes we do things and we're like, ay, Dios mío, estoy loca, yo soy la única persona que hace eso en el mundo. No, okay, once you find your Enneagram type, you're gonna know what's going on with you and why you do that, okay? Why you feel that you need to understand the world, why you feel that you need to express yourself in a creative way, why you feel that you need to connect to other people to be happy, why, okay? The Enneagram is going to explain every detail, all right? So you can see how you can help yourself and how you can understand the people that live with you or that interact with you on a daily basis. What is the difference?
Well,
sorry.
No worry. Yes, I don't have a question. I just want to thank you because I thought I was crazy. I thought I was a bad person. I'm totally agree, and I know that I'm 6 and part of 7. I suffer from anxiety. Cynthia knows that. I suffer a lot from anxiety, and I'm always want to be good with people. I don't know. I fear being judged, being alone. I don't know why. I'm a difficult person.
No.
And I'm I'm very talkative. I talk and talk and talk and talk, and I can't be quiet. I mean, I just need to talk something. It doesn't matter if it's part of the subject. I need to talk. I just need to talk and talk, and I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's great, Melanie, because maybe it will be very interesting if you explore you said number 6 with a wing to 7, yeah, right? Okay, yeah. Explore that and try to take a look at the subtype that is called the transmitter, okay, el transmisor, el sexual transmisor. Look for that because el sexual transmisor, like what we call the sexual transmitter, is the one that is always wanted. I mean, like, it's like this person knows something and wants to transmit that to the world, wants to communicate all the time, communicate, and
that's
goes to talk to people to see what you can learn from this person, take it, and then communicate it to other people like a chain.
Yeah.
Transmission people are the ones that belong to that are like this all the time. Okay, guys, I want to share with you my account. I don't know if you are on Instagram. Are you on Instagram? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Because here, if you follow me, I'm going to start like, well, actually I have done a lot now, but I'm going to continue doing more Instagram lives with people here that are friends of mine that are coaches, are psychologists. Now, this is a topic that everybody should know because of this reason, what Melanie said. Pensé que estaba loca. Okay, a lot of times you think that you are the problem and you're not the problem. The only problem is that you are lacking self-knowledge. Once you know yourself, you can understand how you are. You can learn to love yourself more, and your self-esteem goes up, and you can understand the people around you, and you stop arguing with your parents, and then you understand the professors, why they behave like that, and then you know why your partner is like this, and why you have such a hard time learning English or not. You understand everything. Okay, so if you're interested in more information, you can ask for some books. I know a lot that would be very interesting. One of my favorite books is this one right here. Okay, that what you see, it's like Meditación con eneagrama. Okay, I'm gonna send a picture to Cynthia, so maybe you want to look for it, so you can have here some affirmations that will help you, so you can start meditating every day for 5-10 minutes. Read it, see the message. So everything here explains a lot and gives you this stability that you're looking for. Okay, so there are many books that talk about the Enneagram right now. Okay, so but if you want more information and you have Instagram, I invite you to follow me. It's Prisma Coaching. Okay, and talk to people about this. Go spread the Enneagram, because just a few people know about it. And I think everybody should know about this. Okay, and start applying that to your life. Okay,
Correct. Okay, Vera, I have a question. Well, actually,
Yes.
a comment and a question.
Yes.
Here, I guess most of people that attended are teachers or are about to become teachers, graduated teachers. And I guess it's very important to get to know first yourself as a teacher, because you can harm others, right? Remember, we touch lives forever. That's like a very nice saying, right? We touch lives forever as teachers, as in our role. But students also, to get to know students very well. I'm very much into emotional education also, and I'm trying to study, right, that area. And my question is, what is the approach that we need to follow as teachers? What is the role? Should we just try to study every single type and take the students to the best of their personality pattern? Because first we need to know what that best should be, right?
Exactly. And for that, I'm going to share something with you right now. Wait a second. I'm going to stop sharing this one and sharing this other that I had it ready because I knew this question was coming. Wait a minute, sorry. Okay, I have it now. Compartir pantalla here. Okay. This is like this, Cynthia. We have to explore every single type. Okay. For example, I have a guide. I worked on this when I was studying the masters, because I knew exactly that this question that you have was the same question that I had. Okay. And once you identify all of them, okay, you can start taking things into your classes, okay, or into your life also. For example, this one that says Guía para Profesores, okay, it's in Spanish. Here, for example, you see roles from teachers. From an Enneagram type 8, for example, you can see how this person acts as a leader, as a organization. Okay, I'm going to read it in Spanish. Líder, for example, demuestra su poder con sus reglas, establece sus rules desde el primer día. En algunas ocasiones hace que los estudiantes firmen un acuerdo de observaciones, for example. Okay. Como organizador, más que un guía, impone un estilo de aprendizaje donde la confrontación esté presente, debates, role-play discussions about taboo and controversial topics. You see, like this, you have all of them. So once you know this, you can get it and you say, okay, now that I identify myself and I'm completely sure I work as an Enneagram type 8, this is what I have to take into the classes to have my students feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. That would be great. Yeah, to promote it among the students that we are, preparing as teachers. That would be really good to use.
Yes.
And is there any practical instrument or tool, you know, like a questionnaire or something, so that we can, you know, have the students fill out and know their type, or is,
Yes.
how can I
Online you can have tests online, okay?
Okay.
However, well, that would be good just to have like an idea, right? However, the thing with the questionnaires or the surveys that we find online is that, of course, you're going to have some kind of mistake because you know how tests are, right? The most important, and it's not because I do it and because it's my job right now, but the best way is to have a personal interview with a coach or with a psychologist or with someone like this, so you can know exactly how you do it. I work with a teacher from Sede Bunka, I think. No, Chorotega. I don't remember. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't remember. Well, someone from UNA, okay, somewhere. And she had this question. So I worked with her in 3 sessions. She already knew what was going on, how she was acting, what to do. So you, in that way, if you want it like more personalized, it's better if you just explore yourself like this, okay, with sessions, with coaching sessions. But if you just want to know your Enneagram type, go ahead, take a test and explore more, watch videos and read books, and they will give you a lot of recommendations as well, okay?
All right.
Or ask on Instagram.
Thank you, Vera. I don't know, are there any other questions, comments? Let me just check the chat. Oh, well, there's one there. What is the difference between the wings and the 2 arrows of the main type?
Yes, okay, well, the difference, I mean, everything has information, okay? We tend more to act or behave as the arrows might guide us sometimes, okay? Some of the arrows, for example, there is a tendency to go to one arrow that is gonna help us more in certain circumstances. For example, I'm a 7, okay? And I have arrow to 1 and arrow to 5. I know that when I am planning a lot of things, like in Spain, they tell me, Vera, eres un culo inquieto. I'm like, yes, I know, because I'm planning and doing things all the time, okay? But if I know that I am doing that, but in a like very exaggerated way, that is not healthy because I'm maybe escaping from other things, from something, I'm suffering from something, or, you know, from different things, I know that it's good for me to go to my arrow number 5, because I need to be alone, meditate, and be quiet, okay? But if I know that sometimes I'm a mess, I have to go to my 1 and be more organized, okay? So it depends on what situation you're living. Your arrows are gonna tell you what to do so you can go back, okay, relax, and don't listen to your ego talking and acting for you, okay? It's more to be yourself and to love yourself more than listening to your inner critic, because the inner critic is always telling us lies, but we listen to lies more than we listen to love, okay? So it's a matter of that. And the wings, we tend more, we tend to go to a wing more than the other wing, okay? So you have to identify if you are a 7 with a wing to 6, or a 7 with a wing to 8. Which wing, which characteristics from that number are more present in your life, okay? So you have to see it like that.
All right, thank you very much,
right.
Vera.
Thank you.
No more questions, no more comments. Okay, remember to click on the link for the attendance, right? Before leaving. Okay, Vera, so
thank you.
I was about to say that on behalf of the organizing committee of the first virtual academic week, we want to thank you for all your experience, all that you share right now, your knowledge, your passion, your time, your advice. Thank you very much, Vera. We do appreciate this. So let's just, you know, give her a warm virtual applause.
For you. For you. My pleasure. Of course, it's always a pleasure to share, as I said. So I'm super happy to be here. And I really hope you guys explore more about this amazing tool, because as I said at the beginning, it's not only to help you understand yourself as a student or as a teacher, but it's to help you to understand yourself as a person, as a human being, okay?
Correct. We'll surely do. We'll explore this a little bit more. So thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take good care.
Thank
Vera.
you. You too. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.